Hey, what's up you guys? It's Alex from Landvista Aquascapes out here in Voorhees, New Jersey. I'm out here doing a maintenance on this pond over here. Came in, the waterfall over here was a little low. It was kind of spitting. Looks like over here the skimmer was a bit low, so I just dropped the hose in as soon as I got here just to make sure that the pump doesn't suffer any damage or anything. So because I'm adding water straight from the tap, one of the things you want to make sure that you have is a pond detoxifier. Pond detoxifiers will basically take all the chlorines and chloramines that are naturally in tap water. It basically just breaks them down so they're safer, because chlorine is not very good for fish. For humans, in small doses, it's not going to hurt. Obviously, in higher doses, chlorine is really bad. For fish that are breathing that constantly through their gills, it's really harsh, so you want to make sure that you have something like this, the Aquascape Pond Detoxifier, and you follow the instructions on it, and it'll tell you exactly how much to treat for it, and it'll just make the tap water nice and neutral for you. So here's another interesting thing that I just noticed. So I just walked over to the falls. You can see the falls here, and over here on this back edge, we've got a leak right there. It's going right up and over the edge. I don't know if you can see that, but it's all wet down in here. It looks like it might be going over the edge over there. So yeah, I think basically all of this string algae is just clogging it up and making the water level rise too much over there. So I'm gonna take out these rocks too, just so that we can open up this area, because all this string algae is basically just backing up all of the water in the biofalls, and it's making it go up and over and leak. So you can already see it's not over the edge anymore. Same over there. So some of the basic things that we'll do on a standard maintenance is we'll come out and we'll check the waterfall, we'll check the skimmer, just as I had done when I first came here and saw that it was low, so it's a good thing that I was here to actually diagnose that problem. Other things we'll do is we'll pull string algae, just more because it's a cosmetic thing. A lot of people think that string algae is actually a sign of your pond being unhealthy. It's not. Any algae like that is a sign of a healthy, thriving environment. If you don't have any algae at all in your pond, basically means it's sterile and it's not natural. And when you do your cleanouts and that sort of thing, you'll get really, really clear water and it'll look pristine, but that's not how nature works. If you go to any stream or pond in nature, you're gonna get some amount of algae, whatever form it is, and that's totally natural. Other things that we do while we're on maintenance is we'll add a dose of beneficial bacteria. This will basically just kickstart the natural cycle of everything. Some of our clients have auto dosers, which will basically every day it'll actually dose a small amount of bacteria, which is a lot more beneficial because it keeps everything nice and level. Adding it once a month, which is generally what most of our maintenance clients are, it's good, and it definitely keeps the levels up. It's just basically adding to the natural ecosystem. The other things we'll do is we'll take our API test kits and we'll test ammonia, nitrites, pH, and phosphates. Here in New Jersey, we actually have a problem with a lot of phosphates in the water, which contributes to algae growth, which a lot of clients don't like because string algae doesn't look pretty. It looks like green slime. Sometimes it looks like green hair growing on your water feature, and it's not exactly the most cosmetically nice looking thing. So that's something that we'll either put in a phosphate binder or SAB, which is an Aquascape product, which it's got beneficial bacteria and a phosphate binder in it. The other thing that we'll also do is monthly fertilizers. These are really good because it'll make your plants grow. Here, however, you can see how completely overgrown all of that is. I'm not going to fertilize here. You can see how all the thalia is all coming in, and the iris. We actually, during our clean out, we pulled out a huge, like massive chunk of that. while we were doing the clean out, because it's basically the end of the season last year. You couldn't even see the pond anymore. Like now it's nice and open over here, and you can see the lilies and the fish. So it's actually it's a pond. So one of my personal favorite things about this waterfall that I actually discovered last month when I was doing maintenance, and I was pulling some string algae in the waterfall. Let me show you. So the client has this really nifty little switch that will actually shut off the outlet to the entire pond. So we'll hit the switch, run over to the waterfall. So underneath the waterfall, you can actually see all of this natural aquatic moss is starting to grow behind the waterfall. So I was actually pulling out string algae the last time I was here, and I started to look and I was like, wait a second, that's not string algae, that's moss. We didn't put that there, that totally grew on its own. And if you know me from any of my posts on Instagram, I'm super crazy about moss. So you've got the nice sheet that goes over, and then you've got a light back here, so I'm not sure if you can actually see that at night, but that to me is super, super cool. And the little nooks and crannies on the sides, where it's shady and some amounts of little bits of water get through. Okay, so on to other maintenance things. Your skimmer basket, I just shut off the waterfall and everything, so the skimmer's not pulling anything. Your skimmer basket will just pop right out, and then you've got your filter pad down in here. Got a bit of gunk on it, so I'm going to rinse that out. And then generally speaking, we'll actually, here at Landvista Aquascapes, we will check your pumps to make sure that they're not full of gunk and debris. So that'll actually cause your biofalls to drain back into the skimmer, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The way that you can prevent that is you can have a ball valve positioned right out here, which we do not have on this pond. Some of them we do have. You can see it's not too bad. This is the AquaSurge. What's the gallons per hour? This is an AquaSurge 5000, so this baby will push 5,000 gallons per hour through that waterfall. It's a nice bit of flow. And this little piece of PVC down here, this is your auto shut off. What'll happen with this guy is when it's underwater, the little sensor down here will detect whether or not there's water. Once that gets tripped, it'll shut the pump off. So whatever you plug this into, you can see it over here. So you can see that over here. This is actually the plug for that auto shut off. So it's got this little breather tube. That breather tube, if it gets water in it on the other side, it'll actually shut off whatever plug is plugged into it. We have the pump plugged in, which generally what people do, and it'll pump off. And the good thing about having that is if your pond does have a leak, and in an emergency situation, if it does have a leak and it gets too low, it'll kill the pump, and it won't burn out your pump. Because we have actually this season had a pump burn out because we didn't have one of them hooked up. So it's a good thing that we have it here, especially because when I first got here, it was sucking air. So good job. Alright, so what I'll generally do when I'm cleaning out the skimmer baskets is I'll put them over on the grass, somewhere that's basically out of sight. So you can actually see that the debris is not that bad. It's just a little bit of broken down gunk and fish waste, so you can just go ahead and rinse that out. Get some pressure going so it'll rinse out real good. If the debris was too large, like if there was leaf debris, I would put that into my bucket that I pull the string algae out with, and that way I don't get leaves or anything on the client's grass. Alright, so as you can see, with the auto shut off underwater, it's pulling water in through here into the pump, but the second that this comes out of water, shut the pump right off. Sometimes they take a little bit to kick back on, but it's a really good fail-safe to have if you have a pond that you have issues with water level staying the same consistency, and just as a general fail-safe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shimmy this guy down in here. So it'll sit right there, and it's gonna sit right above the level of the pump, so that if water level gets too far down, it won't actually kill the pump. Alright, so that's about it. That's generally a basic maintenance visit. This one was a little special because we had the leak issue at the beginning. All in all, that's a successful visit. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Hit the like if you like this video, or dislike it if you didn't like it. Totally okay. Not biased in any way. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.